Well, it's been a while, but we're back to finish things off. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. This should be the final part. Sorry about taking so long to get back to it, but at least we're back to it now. And here we are, March 15th, 3:33 a.m., Theatrum Neutralis, lobby. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more. As if there is anything else for me to testify about. I still have yet to fully prove that it was Mr. Alba who murdered Mr. Cochin. Well, I'd like to hear about your movements before the murder occurred. I wonder if you could tell us about what you did here at the Theatrum Neutralis. Very well. Suppose I could tell you about that. Because about all I did was watch the Steel Samurai stage show. Elaborate on even that alone is good enough for me. The only way for me to place this man under arrest is to pinpoint the exact location of where the murder took place, for that is the key to the investigation. Probably should have also rewatched the previous few parts so I could, hopefully I remember to mute that impromptu cough. Yeah, so I could be back on track with the logic. But, hey, we'll see how this goes. The Steel Samurai show. I watched from the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience. I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. I do remember the contents of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you? Those moving scenes were seared into this old man's heart. I'll never forget them. Wow, vague testimony much? You were in the theater proper watching the Steel Samurai stage show, were you? Of course I was. I have a great fondness for the Steel Samurai. Yeah, I was pretty cool up there, wasn't I? You're not the one who was cool, it's the Steel Samurai who was cool. Yeah, and the Steel Samurai special finishing move today was really something, huh? Hey, Edgy! Who is she? Who is this super cute girl? Why are you being a sex pest, Larry? Reel it back, please. She's been standing here this whole time, and only now he notices her? Her name is Kay Faraday, and she's helping me in my investigation. Sorry I didn't get to introduce myself earlier, but better late than never. Yeah, it's okay, I'm Larry, but... Silence in the peanut gallery. There's no time for such trivialities at a time like this. Mr. Prosecutor, this is the final battle, you got that? I know. This is the end. For that man there. Now that's the kind of thing I like to hear. I think I'll give trusting you a try, Mr. Prosecutor. Or rather, Mr. Edgeworth. Respect? I leave this critical battle up to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Have no fear, I will finish the job. This really is the end game. The time has come to expose every last one of Mr. Alba's lies. Okay. So, I'm gonna need him to elaborate a bit. Are you admitting, then, that you have no way of proving to us that you are watching? Quiet. You buzz in my ear like a pesky little fly. If you don't wish to listen quietly until the end of what I have to say, then perhaps you should pack up and get out of my way. See that you're willing to be a bit more receptive now. While it's true that it may be difficult to prove that I was out in the audience. You remember the contents of the show very well. Well, elaborate on the contents of the show. Well, I remember the contents of the show as well myself. That's nice. That's nice. Miles Edgeworth, don't allow yourself to be riled up by him at this important juncture. I wasn't planning to let him. Well, if you ask me, I think I'm the biggest Steel Samurai expert around here. Didn't you think the cinematic scene of today's show is just totally awesome? Yes, I remember that well. A spectacular special move. The way you delivered the final blow against the evil magistrate. Early summer rain jab. Oh, that scene will live on in my heart forever. Is that how it went? Yeah, I totally forgot about that. How can you forget your own special moves? That's the special attack that the Steel Samurai uses when he's using the Samurai Spear. Yes, and today was the first time they showed it off, was it not? If I hadn't watched the show, then how could I answer you with the name of the move? Suppose you are correct. If you could, please elaborate on this point for me. Never before seen. He couldn't do it. Because it was bent. The special move today was the early summer rain jab. Is that your final answer? You little irritating gnat. Do you think you can trip me up by asking the same question over and over? That was not my intention. Your testimony is more than sufficient. However, I believe it would be wise for you to take a look at this. The Samurai Spear. What about it? The spear actually never made it on the stage today. Excuse me. Unfortunately for you, tonight's Steel Samurai happened to be a goof of a young man with an abundance of useless hot-bloodedness. That's you, Larry. Having said that, said useless man bent the spear during his rehearsal this evening. Kay, do you remember what the Steel Samurai special move was tonight? It was the Steel Samurai Sushi Slash. Correct. Because he couldn't use the spear, a last-minute change was made. Had you really been watching the show, you would have known the move that was used. Quercus Alba. You didn't watch even a single minute of the Steel Samurai stage show tonight, did you? Yeah. Aha. So if he wasn't watching the show tonight, then it opens up the possibility that he was busy killing Mr. Kochin instead. So, where were you during the show? I demand an answer. Now. Just what is so funny? You're so sloppy. And so are your conclusions. I still insist that I watched the show. Or most of it, in any case. What do you mean by most of it? You see, during the show I left my seat for a spell to visit the bathroom. I assume that was when that dramatic scene was played out on stage. That is the lousiest, lamest excuse I've ever heard in my life, pal. Just because he got the name of the move wrong, we can't really use that as proof that he didn't watch the show at all. As a fan of the Steel Samurai, I had wanted to watch the entire show. Honest. As a Steel Samurai fan, for someone who wasn't even in his seat for the climax of the show, you have no right to call yourself a Steel Samurai fan. Ever. Who was that just now? Oh. I wasn't expecting this. It would be I, young lady. Larry, what are you doing interrupting me like that? Edgy, just hold on for a second, I beg. You may never accept this old man as a Steel Samurai fan, but I totally think he's a Steel Samurai maniac. Whose side are you on, Larry? What exactly is a Steel Samurai maniac, pal? I believe he meant to say Steel Samurai Maniac. Yeah, and trust me, I know a real fan when I see one, because I'm the Steel Samurai. I will never acknowledge you as the true Steel Samurai. What are you getting so worked up over, Mr. Edgeworth? It appears that the real Steel Samurai recognizes me as a fan. As well he should, for I am a fan. It's not as though I missed the entire show. It was a most amazing show, filled with the spirit of the young and the young at heart. Sarcasm dripping from his long wooden nose couldn't run any thicker. Oh, he is supposed to be built like a Tengu. Oh, snap. Alright. Getting the name of the move wrong only proves that he didn't watch the last scene. What I really need here is something more definitive. Something that links Mr. Alba directly to the murder of Mr. Manny Cochin. You know what, Gramps? You're really something else. I'm honored to receive such praise from the Steel Samurai. But what is it for? Well, I was just wondering how you found out about the early summer rain jab. That move is a bit of a secret that only a small portion of the staff know about. Wait, it was a secret? Larry, wait, what did you just say? Huh? Did I say something stupid again? Did you say that the early summer rain jab was actually a secret? Well, maybe I shouldn't have said secret. It's more like we only decided on the name of the move right before the start of the show. Right before. Yeah, the stage director was going nuts because we were supposed to debut the move. How did you not have a name? About 5 minutes before the show, we threw it up on the dressing room's whiteboard. Wait. Just trying to see if we have, like, floor plans. Because I genuinely don't remember. Okay, no floor plans. Just had to make sure. Early summer rain jab. That's kind of how we decided the name of the move. But by that time, I'd already bent the spear, so I guess the whole thing was kind of pointless. All of you Steel Samurai actors are the same. The director has my complete sympathy. So basically, because we changed the move to the sushi slash, we kind of pretended that the early summer rain jab didn't exist at all. I mean, it'd be bad if someone found out we changed the move, so we made it a secret. So basically, a gag order was issued for publicity's sake. It almost makes the early summer rain jab sound like a lost art. Yeah, which is why I think most of the staff haven't even heard of the move. Hold those lips of yours still. Uh-oh. What the heck, old man? I've done nothing but listen, and from what I can tell, it's all very unrelated to the case. It's also very tedious and a pointless exercise and wasting time, much like a kid's show. Mr. Alba, I believe the one who should be quiet now is you. How dare you? I suspect that you've already noticed exactly what the very severe implications are in this man's testimony. Heh, so now you're trying to bully me, huh? There are no implications to be read into a behind-the-scenes story of a kid's show. Don't even think about trying to slither your way out of this, Quercus Alba. You're the one who said it yourself that the name of the move was... Boy, this mute button is gonna work out today. Early summer rain jab. But that name was only decided upon right before the show was about to start. So, just what are you driving at? And the name of the move you told us was never used in the show or said aloud. Now then, would you care to tell us about how you found out the name of that move? Because I can only think of one way you could have known. Quercus Alba, this is the only way you could have known the name of the special move. There's no way he could have seen it. And I mean, no, he's not psychic. You asked about it. You knew the name because you asked about it. You asked a member of the staff, that is. Hey now, didn't that samurai say just a few seconds ago that the people who knew were ordered to keep quiet about the move? I somehow doubt that he could have simply asked someone and gotten an answer. Besides, even if what you said were the case, what do we learn from that? Not much, actually. Not if Mr. Alba had asked a staff member, but he could have asked Larry what the plan was. Y'all really gonna get me on this? Then... he couldn't have seen it! He thought it up? You're the one who created the name of that move. Yeah, no, they're about to get me on this. Okay, well, that was bad. He couldn't have seen it. Oh, fuck, on the whiteboard. God. Then why didn't you Oh my god, there needs to be like the transcript, like an easy way to just go back and read through it, because I guess it did say you knew the name of the move, and then like, did they say the only way you could have known the name of the move, or the only way you would have known about the move? Because if they specifically said the only way you could have known about the name of the move, fine, I relent. I should have said that because it was on the whiteboard. But if they said the only way you could have known about the move in general, then I feel that was misleading. But fair enough, fair enough. The whiteboard. The staff members who knew were keeping it a secret, so you couldn't have simply gone up to a staff member and asked. I mean, I thought he would have just asked Larry, because Larry's dumb. Would have just been like, hey, young man, what do you have planned for the show tonight? I'm very excited. Which means, yeah, plus that would also explain why Larry was so defensive, like, hey, he is a steel samurai maniac. I know this. It's like, well, how do you know this? Did he go to you before the show? Like, but fine, fair enough. The whiteboard. Okay. Which means that the only other option left is that you saw it on the whiteboard. So that means that Mr. Alba was in the waiting room at some point, right? Well, what's the big deal, sir? I'll see what that means. There's another piece of evidence that has a great deal to do with the dressing room, so we can't afford to let this slide. This is related to both the dressing room and to Mr. Cochin's murder. What would that be? Wait a minute. This is the only thing. Because it was given to embassy staff, Mr. Cochin, and one was in the dressing room. There's a very close connection between this and the dressing room. The music's still going. What sort of connection would that be? Oh, frick off. I'm slipping, yo. I'm slipping. Okay. Well, then it would be the rotating wall. Right? Oh, frick. Alright, I'm gonna have to think about this. Oh my god. Why does it always get to this point in an Ace Attorney game where I'm just down to my last frickin' life? Alright. Like, for the entire video. This is gonna be rough. This is the only other thing that's tied to the dressing room, then. There is blood. Did we determine that it was indeed... We're only assuming, we didn't test it, but... Oh my god, the music stopped. Okay. Whew. The pushcart that was used to move the body was right there in the dressing room. During the show, the pushcart awaited its turn to be pushed on stage in the dressing room. And it was finally pushed there, along with the Iron Infant in the last scene of the show. And then, right after the show ended, it went to Alba. Oh yeah, duh, because I even put two and two together that the body was stored in the cart, and pretty much Larry was used as a mule. Okay. Along with the Steel Samurai. Which means that the only time the killer could have placed the body inside the pushcart was during the show, before the final scene. The pushcart was in the dressing room backstage. So basically, the killer has to be someone who visited the dressing room during the show. Precisely. Ah. Oh, but wait. What if, and this is just a what if the murder didn't take place in the dressing room? What do you mean, gay? I have to admit, she brings up a valid possibility. During the show, the dressing room was supposed to be devoid of people. Anyone going into the private dressing room would stand out like a sore thumb. But despite that, the killer still managed to move the body with the pushcart. Correct. And it is because of the setup of the theater's dressing room that it would be the ideal location for the murder of Manny Cochin. Quercus Alba, during the show you went down to the dressing room, and I want to know why. Yes. Yes, I was there. Went into the dressing room. I knew it. Placing you under arrest right now, pal. You got that? Arrest! Not so fast. What is it now? Don't I deserve a chance to explain myself? Explain? What is there to explain? I believe I told you earlier that I went to the bathroom. Well, I got lost when I did. You work in this building, my guy, like, for years. Come on now. I wanted to ask for directions, but when I opened the dressing room door, no one was inside. And that's when I saw the name of the move on the whiteboard. You punk, still trying to get out of this. Do you really think you can get away at this point? Mr. Edgeworth, is there anything you can do to stop him? Nah, I don't have enough evidence on hand to do anything. I don't have the airtight evidence I need to put this man away for good. But if that's what I need, then perhaps... Agent Lang, I believe an investigation of the dressing room in question is in order. It's possible that we may find new evidence there. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth perks around in there, I'm sure he'll find some new facts, pal. Oh, and if we use Little Thief, we may even learn something from a recreation. We don't need to do any of that. What? Wolfie? How could you? I'm not saying this to be mean. It's just that we already searched there. My men really are something else. And they found nothing? There's only one thing I can say to you, sis. It's that they found nothing. That's it. I guess you're right. If they had found something, they would have reported it to us. Yeah. They couldn't find anything because there was nothing there to find. And if there is no info to feed in the Little Thief, then I can't do much to help either. Is this the end? The murder took place in this theater, which is not protected under extraterritorial rights. And the fact that it was Mr. Alba himself who committed the murder. Oh, because it was the theater, so they didn't have the rotating fireplace. Duh. Alright. My mistake, my mistake. Yeah, fireplace. I deserve that, I deserve that one. If I can't prove both statements to be true, Mr. Alba walks away a free man. Is there no other course of action left to us? Because, yeah, if the dressing room was in the embassy with the rotating wall, then that means that would happen on, like, those grounds, and he would have to be prosecuted there. So, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. It appeared that your hand of cards has turned out to be a bust. Now, if you'll excuse me. Because of you people, I missed my flight. I must make haste to arrange for a new one. Who said that? Who's it this time? Oh, Lord in heaven. Hold it right there, you whippersnappers. First Larry and now you. What is it with that scary monster-like scowl on your face, Edgy Poe? Don't treat me like I'm some sort of nuisance. You are. I didn't mean to say this, but all you keep talking about things I don't get at all. You're all leaving this lady in the sad, depressing, lonely dust, and I'm about to cry in. Or that I'm about to cry in. Why did you have to speak up right at this instant? But you know what, Edgy Poo? Cheer up, because I'm about to give you the most wonderful thing. Most wonderful thing? From you? It's so super special that I couldn't give it away to just anyone you know. Ah, my special present of love to my sweet Edgy Poo. Are you ready? Is this? It's a hot dog. I mean, to be fair, I would be elated if someone like gave me a Lafayette Coney Island Coney dog, because them dudes be on point. The casing on those hot dogs is just like, yo, so good. But also time and place. It's a box of those samurai dogs, right? Yes. Oh, Edgy Poo, here, go on and eat one and you'll feel as right as rain. What does this have to do with the... Are we through here? Why did everyone get so quiet all of a sudden? Edgy Poo, tell me you understand the depths of this lady's love for you. I'm not one to hand out snacks willy-nilly, you know, no sir. The thought occurred to me that maybe it would be good if I fed you and made sure you were nice and full. One day it's my dream to serve you some of my own homemade food. I mean, isn't it a desire of every woman to make sure their beloved never goes hungry? And that's what I wanted to experience. I'll tell you one thing though, a long time ago I used to say the most delicious ingredient you threw and burned me, I threw in the kitchen. I almost did it. I almost had it. It sped up on the end. Couldn't keep up. Mr. Edgeworth, can't you do anything about her? There is no power on earth that can force that woman into silence. But I'm so sick and tired of it, all you people do is look down on me. Even this box of samurai dogs play me for a fool. It had special design on its fan, like the Japanese flag, so I thought it was special. But when I ate one, it tasted just like all the rest. Oh, it made me so sad. Wait, a special box with a Hinomaru-like fan on it? I've never heard of such a piece of merchandise existing before. However, there it is. The red rising sun on this fan is filled in. Is it possible? Could it be? That's not... It's just perfect... A perfectly splattered drop of blood. After the show, the samurai dogs were piled up on the dressing room floor. However, there was no such thing as a rising sun dog. Rising sun dog? The contradiction of facts between something that should not exist and yet does. The rays from this rising sun may be just what we needed to point us in the right direction. A present? Studio Bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. And to pile them all into the pushcart just to move them all. Move them out of the cart and then blood. Okay. I believe you understand what this means, correct? You killed Mr. Koshin at this theater and then placed his body inside the pushcart. And then, you forced the Steel Samurai to unwittingly move the body for you. It's time to piece the final pieces of this logic puzzle together. No matter how fragile or small the connections may be, once we found them all, the way to the truth will be revealed. We're using logic, yo. So, boxes of samurai dogs were sitting in pushcart. The killer placed Kochin's body into the pushcart in the dressing room. Taken from the dressing room, the fan's rising sun is filled in for some reason. Well, obviously this. So he had to take the samurai dogs out. The killer used a pushcart to transport the body, which means that they had to remove the samurai dogs from within first. Therefore, the samurai dogs that were piled up on the dressing room floor were most likely taken out of the pushcart by the killer. Well, I mean, that's the only thing I can connect. So we're going to say that the, filled-in fan was a blood drop? Which should not exist. This box of samurai dogs with a Hinomaru on it. If this red rising sun was filled in when the killer was busy removing dogs from the pushcart, then it's proof that the murder took place in the dressing room. As long as this red substance turns out to be what I believe it to be. Windy old bag. I thank you. Oh no, her ego's gonna go insane. What you have given to me is truly something very special. Eddie, Mr. Edgeworth, are you, sure you're feeling okay, sir? Mr. Alba, as I suspected, you killed Mr. Cochin in the dressing room. How many times must I listen to you repeat yourself? Haven't you figured it out yet? Your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. The only way I'm going to continue to cooperate is with some definitive evidence. That arrogance, that self-confidence. You believe that you've erased every piece of evidence that could incriminate you. However, there remains one piece here, and it is what will put you away for good. Ha! You are bluffing. Oh, hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Sounds like you finally found them. You finally found the things we need to go after this guy's jugular. So tell us, what about that box of samurai dogs gonna put the old man away? The trace evidence that will bring him down, why, it's here, of course. I'm just wanting to look at the back. Okay. That blue is right there. This box of samurai dogs with a rising sun fan on it. This should never have existed. So I want you all to take a good look at this red spot. It's a single drop of blood. Huh? What? Blood, you say? Agent Lang, I'd like this blood analyzed post-haste. I gotta admit, I'm a bit surprised. I can't believe we found blood in a place like this. Hey you, get this down to the lab pronto. But why was there blood on that box to begin with? If we think about the flow of the crime, I think the reason will become obvious. Larry, you said that you transported the samurai dogs with the pushcart, correct? Yeah, you have a great memory, Edgy. The pushcart was a bit too big for my son, you know what I mean? So to make sure everyone could see him, I had to pile some stuff in. I figured the samurai dogs were there, so I used them to fill up the cart. If what Larry says is true, then what were the boxes doing on the floor? I see. The killer took them out in order to place the body in the pushcart. Exactly. And that is when I believe the victim's blood found its way onto that box. When my men investigated that room, not a single box of samurai dogs was in there, because the Embassy staff members had already confiscated them. Yes, no doubt to hide the evidence of the murder. It's a good thing Miss Oldbag managed to steal that one box before they got to them, huh? Looks like Miss Oldbag also managed to put this great thief to shame. What a scandalous way of putting that. I didn't steal. I received it for myself. Quirkus Alba, I'd say this was one very fatal oversight on your part. Sorry to raid on your little love fest, however. How can you be so self-confident in a no-win situation for him like this? Even if that blood turns out to belong to Mr. Cochin, then what? It's Mr. Edgeworth. It sounds like he's not ready to call it quits yet, huh? The sole piece of evidence that was left at the scene of the crime. That alone has shed light on a new fact. At the very least, we now have proof that the murder occurred in the dressing room. And? Say it like it means something. It's not going to be Cochin's blood. It's going to be his. Because we're going to use that to prove that he was in there and that something went down. And yet it was a defensive wound, but not one he took. It was Kochin trying to defend himself. Huh? Excuse me, sirs? Boy, forensics works quick. Report. What were the results of the analysis? Sir, the analysis came back and confirmed that the red substance is blood. I knew it. With this quirkus Alba. Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might humor my question. Your question? The one from before, have you forgotten? Even if that is Mr. Kochin's blood, what difference would it make? Like we already told you, it proves that the crime scene was that dressing room. But it doesn't prove that I am your killer, does it? That's... Here's a very good point. The blood on that box doesn't prove that Mr. Alba is the killer. Then, this evidence is meaningless? That can't be. We were so close, sir. I want to smack that smug look off his face. Come on, there's got to be something we can do. We finally found a solid piece of evidence. There must be something I can expose with it. I can't think of a single thing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way. Who was that? It's too late. I won't allow anyone to stop me now. It wasn't me, pal. It wasn't me this time either. It wasn't me either. It was me? Faceless NPC forensics guy, let's go! Why did you? Because I haven't finished reporting everything to you yet, sir. There's more? Oh, he deserves a talking sprite for this. Come on, throw him a bone here. What? Hurry up and spit it out. Yes, sir. That blood I mentioned, it's not of the same blood type as the victim's blood. No. What? What do you mean it's not the same type? You mean it's not the victim's blood? If it isn't his, then who the hell is it? I don't know, sir. All I know is that it's not the same blood type as the victim, sir. What should we do now, Mr. Edgeworth? I have no idea what's what anymore. Neither do I. My, what an amusing turn of events. Oh yeah, now you're acting all calm and shit. You didn't look calm when forensics dude dropped that news. Forensics dude deserves a name. I'll call him Peter. Peter, like he came through in the clutch. The blood drop proves something to be true, alright. Namely, my words. And which one of your words would that be? The ones where I said that your words are meaningless, worthless, and powerless. That blood has nothing to do with the murder investigation whatsoever. Need I remind you that the blood got onto that box long before it entered my embassy? What sort of nonsense? Yeah, it's blood, pal. There's no way it's not related to the murder. So you would like to believe. What if someone preparing the samurai dogs had a small nosebleed? What then? I guess that's possible. Damn it! Oh shit, he dropped a damn? Oh yeah, you can say that in like E10. Is this... well, no, but no, this is definitely going to be a T-rated game because, you know, murder, blood, all that jazz. Alright then. Damn it! Have we been wasting our time on red herring? The blood doesn't belong to anyone connected to the case. That should be clue enough. Workers Alba, you... damn! Damn, you dropped a hell, then you dropped a damn, now you're dropping a bastard? Alright. Alba, you bastard! Silence. Don't you ever address me with such a filthy word again. I wasted enough time here with you, and you have your answers. Now let me through. Alba, it doesn't matter where you run off to, you'll never escape me. Someday I'll have the satisfaction of sinking my fangs into you, you'll see. And all of Interpol will be behind me working to see that day comes. Do you know what your words sound like to me? They sound like the whinings of a pathetic loser of a mutt. Owned? Aru? Is this really the extent of all that we can do? Is the blood really from someone completely unrelated to the case? Or is there another possibility? Someone else other than the victim? Just when I thought I had him backed into a corner, it is I who has been backed into one. In a situation like this, what would that man do? What would he, who can turn any desperate situation around, do? Turn it around? Oh my god. It's a turnabout. Oh, is that why everything is called turnabout? Because you're turning the situation around? Oh, shit. That's it. I must turn my way of thinking around. It's not whose blood is this. It's whose blood could get onto the box like this. And if I think about it that way, if the blood got onto the box when the body was being placed into the pushcart, then the owner of said blood must have been in the dressing room at the time. And there is only one person that could be. Well, I must praise you for trying so hard. It's because of you kids that I was removed from center stage, and will be forced to live out the rest of my life in the shadows, unfortunately. But it's not a total loss, as the underworld will allow me more freedom than you'll ever know. Freedom like what the raven feels as it flies through the dark night sky. You can't lay a finger on me, not now or ever. The arm of the law is powerless before me. Powerless, is it? I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. What do you mean? Allow me to describe you in one word. Pitiful. Pitiful? How so? Alba, your wings were clipped long ago. And for someone who is trying to fly away on them without noticing that fact, pitiful is the perfect word to describe you. Ha! Mere words. What do you mean by his wings are clipped, Mr. Edgeworth? Just what you think it means, Kay. We had already caught him in our trap a while back, with an incredibly powerful, definitive piece of evidence. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Can't speak in English. What are you talking about? What piece of evidence? The piece I speak of is, of course, this drop of blood. But we know that it's not from the victim. I don't see how it remains relevant to the case at all. Miss Von Karma, I believe that is exactly why it's very important to the case. And the part that is the most important is the fact that it's not the victim's blood. You're looking a little pale. Good, but I believe you're already aware of what I mean. You know who the blood belongs to? Of course I do. This piece of evidence is the irrefutable proof that will stop the killer in his tracks. The blood that soiled this box of samurai dogs belongs to this person. It has to. The blood of the rising sun on this box belongs to you, Alba. Yeah. What? Why is his blood on the box of samurai dogs? He's not even a victim. The blood fell onto the box when Mr. Kochan's body was being loaded into the pushcart. At that time, the only two people in the dressing room were the victim and his killer. So that's what you mean. The blood doesn't belong to the victim. And there is only one other person it could belong to. Yes, and that person is the murderer himself. That's the only logical conclusion. But Mr. Kochan was the one who was stabbed, sir. Why would Mr. Alba have been the one who was bleeding? What if during the murder Mr. Kochan had fought back? Yeah, caught it, boy! You mean if before Mr. Alba could kill him, Mr. Cochin managed to wound Mr. Alba? Yes. I believe we have a piece of evidence that proves that he was bleeding then. It's a piece of evidence that shows that Mr. Alba was probably bleeding at the time. It's gonna be the wound. He's got it somehow. Music stop, let's go. Mr. Alba, you bear on your body a great wound. That was from when Damask II attacked me with a pair of scissors. Yeah, and that happened way after he was in the dressing room. Ah, but is that what really happened? Yeah, you're taking his word for it, Kay? You can manufacture a weapon by smearing blood on it, so I can't just accept that as fact. So we try a test, Mr. Alba, and see if the shape of your wound matches the scissors. You really are something else, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't let a single thing slip you by, no matter how insignificant the possibility. You're one to talk, Mr. Alba. You managed to give the law the slip for 10 years as a smuggling ring's leader. No matter the danger, you can hide every last ounce of fear and anxiety from everyone. You truly are one of a kind criminal. I am the master of my fear. However, to think that a person such as you could miss such a large thing. You believe I've overlooked something? You said that my wound was caused by Mr. Cochin, and that it was caused here in one of the theater's dressing rooms, right? Yes, that is correct. I'd like to point out that it's simply not possible. My wound is a stab wound, and one that can only have come from a blade. I wonder where you would propose that such a weapon came from. Ah, this theater was packed with security guards. It would have been impossible for anyone to come into this area with a weapon of any sort. Because Mr. Alba was able to bring in the Alabastian knife and a bouquet. There must have been some other way to sneak in a weapon of some sort. Oh! Yeah. Whoa, wait. I mean, it is a tiny dot. So that could have just been the blood that's poking through, but it does imply that it might have been a circular wound. No, those were from Shi-na. But sneak in a weapon. What if they snuck in something they didn't know was a weapon? Oh, it's not a circular blade. But this has to be it. Because they probably thought it was just a key. They just thought it was an artifact. Yeah, he's not getting that in. Okay. But as long as you can't prove what that other way is, all your talk about Mr. Cochin stabbing me is pure nonsense. So if that other way does exist, you'd better hurry and tell me now. With pleasure. Wait, what? This piece of evidence shows us how Mr. Cochin brought a weapon into this theater. Among law enforcement, this... Oh, okay, I was getting a little worried because the music was still going. This piece is known as the Yatagarasu's key. That key! That's the key that my father stole from here 7 years ago. And it is very unique, and that is both a key and a knife. Meaning that under the guise of a key, it could have been easily brought into the theater. You couldn't dispose of the knife that stabbed you. Therefore, you wiped off the blood and placed it back in Mr. Cochin's pocket. After all, the key itself opens the safe in his office. And inside that safe, there was a document about Codopian papers signed by Mr. Cochin, in order to make it look like Mr. Cochin died as the leader of the smuggling ring. You had to make it so that the police were the ones who opened that office safe. All that hard work to save yourself only served to destroy you in the end. Shall we try matching this knife's blade with your wound, Mr. Quercus Alba? And that is what some may call the coup de grace. Impossible. You can't take me down. Swine, all of you. Especially Manny Cochin. This is all because of that man's betrayal. He sought to steal control of the smuggling ring from me by removing me as ambassador. Which is why he deserved to die while bearing the guilt for all my crimes for me. That's why I sent out the Yatagarasu's card and how this incident was born. Manny was supposed to be the smuggling ring's leader who was killed by the Yatagarasu. But I had yet another reason, yet another story that's supposed to play out. Manny's death was supposed to bring everything to a close. And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling prosecutors. Scooby-Doo much? Mr. Alba, I'm afraid there is one more question I forgot to ask. I wanted a meltdown. This country's, or Alabast's, which country's court would you like to face first? Either way, it's game over for you. Oh, here we go. I was about to say, that one was kind of a letdown, but then him ending on, like, the haggard old man. That was a nice touch. That was a nice little touch there. But yeah. Phew, this is it. Big day. It's Mr. Alba's trial today. And next week, he's scheduled to stand trial in his own country of Alabast. Francisca is heading that one. I suspect she'll be serving a full course of whiplashes at it. Having to face Miss Von Karma in court right after facing you, sir. Ugh, I don't even want to think of what that would be like. Got a glimpse of Mr. Alba and he was being escorted to the courthouse. Boy, he looked about as glum as I do the day before I get my monthly paycheck. You know, I've been thinking. That flight attendant and even Mr. Portsman were all Mr. Alba's secret agents. Correct. The smuggling ring was the common thread between all of the incidents. Cammy Meal was to provide support during smuggling ops, using her job as an attendant, and Mr. Portsman was to manipulate trials related to the ring to end in their favor. Or, I fly airlines and even the prosecutor's office. No one was safe from the smuggling ring, huh, sir? Suspect there are even more members of this ring spread throughout the world. Oh, is that going to be like what Ace Attorney Investigations 2 is going to be about? Like trying to wrap up the ring? Yeah, it sounds like such a big op that I can't begin to imagine what it's like. What is it, detective? Nothing. It's just... well, got to think of it. Mr. Ernest Amano's trial is also scheduled for later today, sir. I'm aware of that. Mr. Amano has been working with the smuggling ring now for over 10 years. He used the Amano Group's various connections worldwide to assist the ring. Okay, they are spelling it out for you how every case in this game was connected. And all that has come to an end as his conglomerate is now undergoing harsh scrutiny. I owe Mr. Amano a debt of gratitude, but he must pay his debt to society. Well, with the arrest of both Mr. Alba and Mr. Amano, I guess that about wraps up the KG-8 incident as well, huh? I suppose so. The real killer in the KG-8 incident 10 years ago was Manny Cochin. And 7 years ago, the killer in the second KG-8 incident was Mac Rell. Those two facts are the unshakable truth. However, it seems that a lot of effort was put into hiding these and other truths from us, and I will expose it all at the trials today. You're solving cases left and right today, aren't you, sir? CCU and Died Man. Whatever. Perhaps now, these two brave souls who tried to make the truth known can rest in peace. By the way, I received some gifts from Ambassador Polano. Shrimp, crab, beef. I don't need any of these, so I'm giving them to you. Oh my god, he's gonna spice up the ramen with that! Let's go! What? Seriously, sir? Wait, actually, I don't think I want them anymore. The way you're holding them. Don't tell me they're just coupons, sir. Detective Gumshoe, have you not read the paper recently? Ever since the two countries became Codopia again, its economy has changed. Really? And it seems that Ambassador Polano has reaped a few benefits of his own from it. He has been announced as the official ambassador of the newly reunified Codopia. Oh, but what a pity. Even though every item he sent is a treasure, you don't seem all that interested. But if you don't want them, I can give them to my lovely assistant, Kay. Well, wait, that's not what I said. Hold on. Mr. Edgeworth, please let me have them, sir. Actually, come to think of it, where is Kay? How come she's still not here? Oh my lord. Hey, you gotta be more alert than that. Eek! Okay, ow. That eek threw me off. Can't believe you didn't notice I was even mimicking Mr. Edgeworth's voice for a bit. I totally didn't notice you. I realized that voice was you. Oh lord. Lanji says ferocious love blooms with each new spring. Agent Lang, pleasant surprise to see you here. It's been a long time since I set foot in a courthouse, but I wasn't going to miss watching the guy who screwed up my country finally get what's coming to him. Well, that and something else. I want to see you in action in court. Just so, Agent Lang. We flushed out all the counterfeit bills, so Zhang Fa is finally at peace again. And it's all thanks to you. So I just want to say, thanks. Thank you, Edgeworth. Edgeworth. Wow, I never thought I'd see the day old Wolfie says thanks to Mr. Edgeworth. I should be the one thanking you, Agent Lang. If you hadn't negated Mr. Alba's extraterritorial rights, I would not have been able to bring him to trial. I believe the victory belongs to the both of us in this case. A shared victory, huh? Look, don't get me wrong. I'll still never forgive you, prosecutors. And I have zero interest in that truth thing you talked about in court. Oh, so you're still just gonna be, like, crooked? I've always done things my own way, and that's not about to change. You got that? I see. Well, I believe you should follow your own creed when you do your job. Yeah, and if there's ever someone your precious truth can't catch, feel free to sit around and cry about it all you want. But as for me, I'm going to get that person no matter what. Alright. It's about time for the trial to start. I'll see you later. I'll be watching your performance from the gallery. I'm looking forward to this. I prepared a whole ton of ticker tape for today's victory, sir. I'll throw some around when Mr. Edgeworth wins. Hope you got enough, because I'm going to go call my men up as well. A modest amount of ticker tape goes a long way. The scene shifts to the courtroom and the final act of this long tale begins. The legend of the great thief Yatagarasu. The story of those who chose to dedicate their lives to the pursuit of the truth. Prosecutors are those who seek a guilty verdict for the defendants they meet. To that end, you have no choice but to win by any means necessary. That creed was forced on me since I was very young. However, I no longer think that is all we prosecutors are. And that is because... even though I've only been away from the courtroom for a short time, I feel as though it's been a lifetime since I've set foot in one, I'll say. Today, more than any other day, I feel the fight rising within me. Oh, that was an N. That wasn't... that didn't feel too impactful, but it's still fine. So yeah, that's been Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. Oh. I forgot the voice I gave you. I'm really Mr. Edgeworth's debt for the... Oh crap. Thanks to him, I'm still free to serve in the friendly blue skies. Also, about my suitcases. I've been selling them on the internet, and they've become a real sensation. Thanks to the praise the art world has lavished on my work as being truly postmodern. The airline has chosen me to design their new line of iFly jumbo jets. Just think, someday you'll be able to take a ride in my pink-walled, yellow-seated jet. Oh, God. No. I don't really care about keeping up with him. Edgeworth out that rudeness of a rude man. Because of him, my time and money is wasted. Forgot the voice I gave you, I'm sorry. But more importantly, I received most fantastic treasure recently. Permanent statue of the Principality of Codopia. It weighs a bit light in my hands, but the Ambassador Polino was most generous. I think I gave him like a weird French accent. We finally caught Agent Hicks's killer, and I was able to witness Mr. Alba's teary eyes. Feels good to finally bring everything to a close. I received another offer from Interpol to work another case in cooperation with them. However, the Codopian courts evade. Codopia's air is supposed to be very fresh, so my VIP should find new vigor there. But yeah, can't really complain about this game. It was fun. Like, I liked that the stories were really good. But, I don't know, I still kind of prefer the standard, like, you know, you're in court thing of the other games. So, Patrolman has been fired as of today, sir. But it was safe since we found the gun I had dropped. But I hadn't noticed that I had dropped my police badge, too. Oh my god, you suck. Guess what really broke the camel's back was that I couldn't find my badge. My little life has suddenly tripped into a dark black hole, sir. I think I'll go to the courthouse and file a complaint with Ruffles Man. What? But yeah, all in all, I'd say this was a good game. I don't have any real major complaints with it. I just still kind of prefer the standard Ace Attorney games, but this was fine. Do we really need to keep up with her? She didn't really do much. I was hoping to talk to Mr. Edgeworth a bit more than I did, but I gotta get going and return to Europe. I've still got a long way to go and a lot of stuff to study there. Next time I help Mr. Edgeworth on a case, I'm gonna do it as a real forensic scientist. I'm sure he's gonna need all the help I can give him, scientifically. You do that. I'm trying to see what is next in the timeline, though. Heading on over to the Wikipedia listing. Because the kidnapping... Oh my god. No, my voice ain't back. I can't hit her right now. I won't be going outside much anytime soon, but that's really okay. The only prison I'm forever trapped in is the cage of love. The guard down at the detention center, well, when he's on guard duty... He has such a cold look in his eyes, just like that prosecutor. But stop it, Lauren. When will you ever learn to stop being a prisoner of love? Yep, still recovering from that weird, like, bad cold / sinus infection, potentially, I had. So my voice... I can't hit the Mekon like voice right now, but we're getting there, Like, I can hit Monokuma now, it's just Mekon. Alright. It appears there are all sorts of drama. Oh god. Since we judges are here day in, day out, I've only heard a few rumors, but... Apparently, Mr. Edgeworth teamed up with a thief and became a detective. Maybe I should team up with a bailiff and try to become a lawyer or something. Oh my god. Now I need that. I need a ROM hack or fan game where Judgy is the frickin' lawyer. That would be amazing. I don't really care about you, but okay. Did you get reinstated? Maybe I barely escaped death yet again. Yeah, but boy, were we lucky to have Mr. Edgeworth help us out, huh? Yeah, but because I lost the key, I got fired from my security guard job. Oh my god. Don't let it get you down, Maggie. Still got me. Oh my god, are they a couple now? Right, sir. Don't be sad. I'm gonna pick myself up and get through this. Wonder what my next job should be. Oh, this is actually kind of fun. But let's see, it was Ace Attorney... Oh, Ace Attorney Investigations 2 is next. Then it's Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, then Dual Destinies. Alright, guess I gotta find a, a translated ROM of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, because that didn't come over to the States. Why not come to Codopia? Oh god. Right now our embassy is proud to present our Let's Investigate a Murder woohoo show. Although recreating a particular case has created a few small fires of its own. And we had a few problems with the fire marshals, but the next event will be great. It will be an attraction entitled Capture the Yatagarasu. Of course, I hope to enlist the case to help in creating our latest attraction. I cannot do Italian. Why did I think I could do an Italian voice? We're not released in the West as of 2024. An official language translation, but I know there is a translated ROM out there. I can't believe that Mindy ditched me and went to Japan. But it's okay, because that's how I met Miharu. We're planning to go to Paris soon and start a business. And then she will leave you like they all do. We're going to sell blue ocean dogs. They'll sell like hot cake hot dogs for sure. A blue hot dog and a blue bun. I guarantee it'll turn your tongue and your face blue. No, I'm not really the type to work a lot at all really, but... Oh, so I noticed that I really haven't seen the guy in the blue suit at all recently. Wonder what's up. The next time we meet, I'm gonna make him eat one of my dogs. Oh my god, are they gonna go into business with Miles? Or not Miles, what is that weird cop's name? Mike? Mike something. I forgot. These are some long-ass credits, though. Today I gave testimony in court today. Remember the Yatagarasu. Yo, Mr. Bad, you look well, all things considered. By the way, have you noticed that elements within the ring have begun moving? They're probably fighting over who should succeed. Over who should be the next boss. Although, to be honest, I wish I could forget I'd ever heard of that smuggling ring. I completely forgot the voice I gave him to. It's been too long. Long G says thoroughly bite the poisonous snake from the head to the tail. No one runs afoul of the law and escapes this wolf's fangs. I'll get you all yet. Youth. When I become so old, I wonder. I've begun noticing the gray hairs on my beard more, thinking of retiring my mirror. Okay. But, yeah, I do remember, like... Oh, wait. Yeah, so Ace Investigation 2 was only released for the DS in Japan, and Android and iOS in 2017. Still not in the West. Oh my god. I was the Pink Princess of the Pink Banter on the span of 2 days. Talk about busy. But it's alright, because I got a letter from my beloved Edgy Poo. Please take care of your hip, and when you wish to speak, first take off your headpiece. What does he mean by that last statement? It's not like I enjoy being under headpiece every time I see him. I've been an alien, and then some creepy fuzzy pink animal, and then I was the Pink Princess, a great hero of justice, but ever since I was a young man, I could be... Oh my god. Just out of my head to wear my own costume, something is just even a terrible idea. Yeah, I do remember, like, this stupid controversy with Ace Investigations 2. Like, there was this one, like, sort of, semi-big Nintendo YouTuber, Let's Player, who was, like, very anti-emulation, and then he emulated the game. like, come on. Because, I mean, yeah, that is the only way, unless you get, like, a flash cart, and then, like, do the, like, whatchamacallit, like, just the translated ROM onto that, but, yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm emulating that shit, dog. I ain't spending money or time on trying to do flashcard shenanigans, unless one already exists out there. I wouldn't be shocked if, like, JG Games has one. But that's how I got, like, a physical copy of Fire Emblem 6, which never came over here, and, this one, like, translated Dragon Quest Monsters game as well. Because, yeah, people were putting them on the flash carts with the translations and then selling them through JJ Games. So, I'll see if they have Ace Investigations too. like, I mean, I don't have a problem emulating, but I also like to actually, like, own a physical copy of something as well. You know, as we're kind of seeing how important that is with, you know, how messed up digital marketplaces have been lately. Funimation being the most recent example. Yeah. Anyway, whoop. I feel so much better now that the trial's over. As always, your legal prowess was top-notch, sir. Yeah, and nothing beat the look of on Mr. Alba's face when you revealed the ring's secrets. I was amazed. You're like a totally different person when you step into a courtroom. Mr. Edgeworth is always 10 times fiercer in court. Based on the information Mr. Alba offered up, they've begun large-scale operations to clean up the rest of the ring, which I'm happy to leave to Franziska and Agent Lang. So what are your plans now, Kay? Oh, well, we've taken care of the creep who killed my father, so I'm not sure. Hey, I know. Maybe I'll just keep on being Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. You're still trying to steal my job, pal. Just kidding, just kidding. I can't steal something so important to you, Gummy. You can be the co-assistant. Phew, what a relief. Or no, technically just be co-assistant, because, alright, fair enough. Okay. Yes? Even after all that's happened, are you still planning to become a great thief? Of course! But I don't want to tarnish the legend of the noble Yatagarasu, so I'm going to hold off on doing anything until I make a tight 3-person team of my own. 3-person team. You're kind of looking at... oh, well, alright. She didn't mean this 3-person team. A 3-person team of young beauties the same age as me, if possible. With those criteria, I highly doubt you'll find the 2 other people you need. I mean, there's Maya... and Emma? Like, you have, like... you know, the thief, the spirit medium, and the forensic scientist. That's... that could be a good team. My father chose to fight for the truth. I think that's what was so noble about him. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth? The only things I will ever steal are the truths that have been hidden away. I'm going to work extra hard to make a world where the Yatagarasu isn't needed. Let's both strive for such a future. I guess it's time for me to get going. I see. Okay, keep your chin up and stay strong, okay? Don't be a stranger. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be sure to break the lock on the window and sneak in. If you could, I'd appreciate it if you came in through the building's front door. It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. The lock on my window at home has been broken for forever. Oh, one last thing before I go. Let's take a group picture, just the 3 of us. Yeah, remember the photo. Every big case has to end with one. No. Hey, why not? Don't tell me you're camera shy, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course not, Detective. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm taking the picture now. Hey, come back here! Mr. Edgeworth, you can't run away from this, sir. Hey, Detective Gumshoe! Stop that! I can't be seen doing that! Okay, I'm totally taking it now. Say cheese! And thus, the long tale of the KG-8 incident came to a close. It saw the demise of a smuggling ring and the birth of a little great thief. But there is little time to rest and relax, for I am eager to tackle the investigation into a new case. The reason for my eagerness is my want to pursue the truth, and my want to believe in the strength of those who use the power of the law for good. As someone who has chosen to live my life as a prosecutor, that is my new creed. The end. Well, yeah, that was a nice, pleasant little game. I do look forward to seeing what Ace Attorney Investigations 2 will have, though. Like, I know literally nothing about that, since it never came over here. Yeah, I guess I will stick with the order that the games go in. So it is going to be a while before I get back to a regular Ace Attorney game. And that's fine. But I am curious to see about Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. That's going to be fun. Also, I've never done Professor Layton on this channel. I don't know. Layton is a weird one. It's like I like the Layton games, but I don't love them. Like, I never really went out of my way to buy them when they were out, but I always bought them, like, later, after the fact. And I enjoy them for what they are. I don't know, I think those would be a little too slow for an LP, but then again, I thought, like, visual novels would be too slow, and, I mean, you know, Danganronpa was big on my channel, and the Ace Attorney games do well, so what do I know? Maybe there is a audience for Professor Layton. But y'all worry about that later. Thank y'all for watching this here LP. We finished it. And, yeah, I will see you next time with something else. Goodbye. Awkward ending is awkward. But what else is new? Goodbye.